Hello everyone and welcome to MMDL Week 1 versus the Iowa Jolteons coached by Thriller. If you're coming from Thriller Video, thank you very much. Nice to meet you. My name is Kaz. I'm the owner of this league. We are doing low tier almost any ability for the first season. But if you're here just from the link that I put out, welcome. This is a obnoxious matchup. Thriller has some incredibly strong defensive pieces, as well as some almost unguardable offensive pieces into my team. Mainly being Lycanroc Dusk and Braviary Hisui, which, as you can see by my type chart, I'm very weak to both flying and rock. Defensive stuff that I really struggle to break, obviously that's Suicune, the Weezingala, the Fortress, and the Runerigus are all incredibly difficult for certain pieces on my team to try and break through, and then obviously it's very difficult to try and guard against some of those more offensive pieces, mainly being the Braviary Hisui and Lycanroc Dusk, but also Jolteon and Mega Houndoom. Even the Rillaboom and Crabominable I could see coming. Crabominable is very difficult for me to switch into, but I think I can kind of deal with it offensively. And then the Rillaboom could be a piece that comes, especially if he expects me to bring Grassy Surge on Ogerpon, if he wants to just be a regular Rillaboom with those Grassy Glides. So I had a little bit of a difficult time with this week, as I kind of had like 9 Pokemon that I wanted to bring to the matchup, and obviously I can't do that. So some honorable mentions go out to Cyclizar. Moldbreaker, or Turbo Blaze in this, Cyclizar looked pretty good. Overheat would be able to OHKO the Fortress. I could be faster than a non-Scarf Lycanroc Dusk and kill it with like a I was going for like a Life Orb set with Aqua Tail to try and deal with that, and it could also do I think to a KO like max HP Runerigus, but in the end it just seemed I get infinitely walled by the Weezingala and the Suicune. Even if I'm like Power Whip, the Suicune can just chew hits pretty much. So we ended up not using that. The Skuntank, obviously having no weakness, is absolutely fantastic. Sucker Punch looked very strongly to some of the members of this team. Like T-Spikes was also pretty good, as well as like a T-Spike Absorber, but we didn't end up bringing it. And then the Stunfisk Gala, to try and be my defensive check to both the Braviary Hisui and the Lycanroc Dusk. The problem with that is that Braviary Hisui gets access to Heat Wave. Well, I could have been Wellbait Body, and I probably would have been in the matchup due to that Mega Houndoom. But also the Lycanroc Dusk just blows us backwards with that close combat, and then has a free switch into pretty much anything else in the team, since Stunfisk Gala, it's not the strongest offensively. So starting off with the team, something that I noticed at the beginning is that he doesn't really have a great Ghost Resist. Mega Houndoom being the only Ghost Resist that he has, and obviously if that's coming in, it'll most likely just be a regular Houndoom at the beginning, and it will just take a whole lot of damage, especially since I am Beads of Ruin. We are Life Orb, Beads of Ruin, Shadow Ball, Psychic, Energy Ball, and Taunt. We have a Timid Nature with 40 in defense, 252 special attack, and 216 speed. I believe this speed is for a max speed Braviary Hisui. And the majority of time I'm going to be clicking Shadow Ball into this into Thriller's team, as it's just such a good, both super effectively and just as like a neutral hit, it can be an absolute nuke. The problem with this is that it can get easily revenged by something like a Lycanroc Dusk, or even the Mega Houndoom if it's got like Sucker Punch. Well, it is going to outspeed me anyway when it Megas, but if it does have that Sucker Punch Fearing Scarf, that could be really, really annoying. We have Psychic to obviously KO that Galarian Wheezing, which I think is definitely going to come as like a Prankster Mon with Prankster Demond. It's going to be absolutely obnoxious, which is also why we have Taunt, as if it goes for Destiny Bond, I can Taunt it, Energy Ball, which still does pretty decent damage into it, and then I can kill it once the Destiny Bond is over. Next up, I needed some bit of a defensive check to mainly that Lycanroc Dusk, so we went Girder. We are Eviolite, Fluffy is our ability, we are Taunt, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, Knockoff, we have 112 in HP, 24 in attack, 252 defense, and 120 Spadef with an Adamant Nature. I believe the attack investment and the Adamant Nature means I OHKO it with Drain Punch, or at least get it enough so I can then kill it with Mach Punch. We can get some health back. Knockoff is just to get rid of some items, mainly on like the Suicune, or just being a super effective hit into that Braviary Sui. And then Taunt is potentially to, like, Taunt the Fortress, maybe that Galarian Wheezing, a Runerigus, trying to set up like a Trick Room or something. I didn't really have anything else. I originally have Toxic, but obviously, which was for the Suicune. If it's like a rest variant, I can just rest it off, and I'm doing nothing to that anyway. This can take, I believe, it's 252 Adamant plus 2 Lycanroc Dusk Psychic Fangs. I think I can take one of those, and I can take 2 non-boosted Psychic Fangs. This was just a really good check because it naturally resists rock anyway, so if it's going for those stone edges and landing, it still doesn't do too much to me. We then have Electrode. We have Expert Belt, Refrigerate as our ability, Terra Blast, T-Bolt, Volt Switch, and Taunt. We are 20 defense, 252 special attack, and 236 speed with a modest nature. Speed outspeeds his entire team minus Scarfers. 252 special attack just means I can do the most damage possible, which gives me some pretty good 2-hit KOs on things like the Suicune. I think a max HP Runerigus with like Terra Blast. It also does good damage to something like a well-baked body Fortress, if that's what he brings, and just overall does pretty solid damage to his entire team. And then obviously Taunt is for that Runerigus as well, so it can't get up a Trick Room. I think this might be my lead, as it does solid damage into everything, and then I can Taunt like a lead Fortress, a lead Runerigus, something like that, or I can just full switch out. Next up, I needed a check to the Mega Houndoom, so we went with our Primordial Sea Assault Vest Glitterpod with Aqua Jet, First Impression, Liquidation, and Knockoff with 248 HP, 232 attack, and 28 speed. I think the speed is to outspeed a non-invested Crabominable, and then max HP roughly, giving me that odd HP stat, and the rest in it to attack. First Impression's a pretty good click into a lot of my opponent's team, minus the Galarian Wheezing and the Fortress. Aqua Jet does a whole lot of damage to a lot of stuff as well, potentially killing like the Lycanroc Dusk, doing great damage to like a Mega Houndoom, stuff like that. Liquidation for stab, and Knockoff just to get rid of items. Also the best click into like a Super Braviary, which my team was pretty weak to. Next, I needed a little bit more speed, so we went with Choice Scarf, Volt Absorb, Primarina with Flip Turn, Surf, Moonblast, and Psychic Noise. We have 56 HP, 212 in special attack, 4 special defense, and 236 speed with a Timid Nature. I believe this reaches... what is this outspeed? I think Scarf, this outspeeds Mega Houndoom, speed creeping something that's outspeeding Lycanroc Dusk, something like that. I think we're a few points ahead if it's the just stuff trying to creep. And then the 212 special attack is a guaranteed OHKO on something. It might be the Mega Houndoom with Surf, or it might be the Runerigus, something like that. for that's Flip Turn, obviously for momentum. Moonblast is just a fantastic hit into a lot of the stuff, and then Psychic Noise if I do need to try and get rid of that glare and wheezing, as it's going to be such an annoying thing in this battle. And funny enough, wanted more speed, so we ended up with a Choice Scarf, Sword of Ruin, Ogerpon, Ivy Cudgel, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Low Kick. We are just max, 252 attack, Force Spadaf, and 252 speed with a Jolly Nature. This can speed tie potential Scarf, Jolly, Lycanroc, Dusk, and which I can take it out with an Ivy Cudgel. This was mainly because I was still kind of worried about the Braviary Hisui. Not having something that can outspeed like a Scarf version of that, as Primarina won't, and I'm pretty sure it can outspeed Electrode, though I might be wrong. It just felt a little bit more reliable just having that knockoff to try and take it out. And then also another thing to try and take out the Suicune. I can U-turn around. I am kind of walled by the Galarian Weezing and the Fortress, but I have other things to try and deal with that if I can. So yeah, that is the team. I'm not 100% confident with this. I had a lot of ideas going in, and then it was a state of too many ideas. I can't bring everything that I want to. So I ended up making this little mesh of a team. We got a lot of Taunt, a good amount of momentum, U-turn, flip turn, volt switch. So yeah, hopefully we can see some success in this battle. I did the power rankings yesterday, which you guys might have seen, where my team is a D-tier team and the Thrillers is an A-tier team. So we can see if we can push through. Thrillers are a very good battler, so maybe not, maybe so. We'll find out. We'll see you in the battle. Hello everyone, and welcome to the battle. We're just waiting for Thriller to accept our invite, and we'll see what he brings. Okay, no Fortress, which is pretty good for me. No, literally right there. No Fortress, no... What else are you not bringing? No Rillaboom, no Crabominable, and no... Suicune? No Suicune. Okay. We're going to grab Live Link. We're going to at Spectator Roll. You too, man. Right. So he's went with a very, very offensive team. So I think I'm going to lead off with Electrode like I planned. I can taunt. Surprised that no Simisear. Fair enough. I wasn't planning on Simisear. Like, at all. Really. Sorry. So we're going to send out Electrode first. I can taunt if it's the Runerigus. I can taunt if it's the G Weezing. I can get a Volt Switch on pretty much everything else. It gives me... I don't particularly need it too badly. It's quite good for the Braviary Hisui, but it's not a requirement. I'm going to change to there. There we go. That looks better, doesn't it? That looks a bit better for you guys. Probably taking time to put in calcs, which makes sense, as you can't really use calc decks for this. So we're going to go with our Refrigerate Electrode. You can get a strong hit pretty much in everything. I'm modest. If it's the lead Jolteon, I Volt Switch into Primarina. I probably Volt Switch on a lot of this stuff, to be honest. Unless it's the Runerigus, which I taunt. And I probably should taunt the G Weezing. But actually maybe is the G Weezing. So if we go Weezing Galar, what is better here? Finding out how invested you are, or just clicking Taunt? You're probably going to get a T-Spike up, and I don't have any removal on this team, which kind of sucks. And Taunt doesn't actually really help me that much, in all honesty. I might just T-Bolt, honestly. I'm going to T-Bolt for damage. We're going to see that's relatively SPDF. Thankfully, no poison. It's Black Sludge. That's got some SPDF investment. I did a total of 36%. So that seems to be max HP, max HP, max SPDF. Yeah, potentially max HP, max SPDF. So going Glycerpod, the best. Volt switching into that guy, quite potentially. That 40% means, yeah, you got a bit of a low roll, unfortunately, on your Sludge Bomb. You can go Glycerpod, and does a Volt Switch into Liquidation to kill this? Volt Switch, I should be doing 26 to 31. So if I did 26 after Black Sludge, no, I wouldn't, I don't think. What's the best way of dealing with this? Honestly, I'm just going to T-Bolt again. Gonna get some chip. Since I click T-Bolt instead of something like Thunder or a Zap Cannon, he probably knows that I'm not no-guard. And I'm kind of happy just to get this down. I think I'll do it once more and then maybe Taunt? See what he wants to do. He is thinking. He could go Renarius, but I will definitely Taunt that guy, as I do not want a Trick Room getting up. Yeah, he'll do that. That's fine. Ooh, shiny Renarius. Yeah, I'm just going to click Taunt. I'm not letting that guy set up a Trick Room. Yeah, no. And then I'm just going to Terra Loss. We'll get some chip on this. Most likely pop a Weakness Policy, but that is fine. Unfortunate crit. Apologies to Thriller, as he's going to crit back with Shadow Claw. I don't know if that crit mad. Probably not. But yeah, I need to remember if this guy gets Shadow Sneak. I think he does. No Shadow Sneak. You get Sucker Punch. No Sucker Punch. I don't think you get Priority. Which means I can get a free Hooper and get a free Shadow Ball on something, which I think is the best play. As Shadow Ball just does so much damage to everything. He doesn't really have a very good switch in. I wouldn't say Psychic's better, because he can probably just go Houndoom here, to be honest. I don't think he's really fearing a Focus Blast into this Ghost type. But this should do really good damage to something, or even potentially get a kill. Losing Electrode kind of sucks, but preventing this getting a Trick Room and popping a Weakness Policy early is pretty good. So actually, I kind of want to calc what he was. So he's definitely Filter. We know that since he didn't show Frisk. Terra Blast, so that was a crit. Terra Blast, crit. You are like max for it to do that little. Yeah, I think I got like a min roll crit of max. So Hooper should. Yeah, Shadow Ball is. Yeah, Shadow Ball's still doing so much. There we go. Didn't get 6-0. Revealed Life Orb kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Probably see. I'm guessing a Houndoom coming out here, which is fine, as I always go Glycerpod on that, and then get off a free First Impression, which looks super free into this team. Yeah, he's going to show this. We're going to go hard glitter pod every single day. Literally no reason not to. Setting up the Primordial Sea. He's going to nasty plot. Okay, so we have a Houndoom Mega nasty plot to my glitter pod at +2, so it is 2 at KOing me. I'm just going to go ahead and get off a first impression, as that's going to do just so much damage to you. And anything if you want to switch out. We're not in the greatest spot, but we're not in like a very bad spot, as first impression into Aqua Jet should take this out. Aqua Jet actually does a bit more than first impression, but just covering a switch, I think first impression is probably the best click, especially into something like that Braviary Hisui. Yeah, which you could potentially go here now. Needed a Mega Houndoom check. Yeah, we'll see what he wants to go into, as I think he's also got to worry about just like raw liquidation, which is that my better play? Liquidation into Braviary Hisui does a ton to a Jolteon. Yoko's Jolteon. Wheezing Galar. We know your max HP, max Spadef. Liquidation. Does the most. I might just liquidation, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna liquidation instead of first impression, as I can potentially take out that Braviary Hisui, which would be Chef's Kiss. It won't kill it, but that into Aqua Jet will. This obviously kills the Lycanroc, can kill Jolteon, does the most damage to Wheezing. I'm fine clicking this, seeing what he wants to do, as this does a whole lot of damage. Thankfully, he can't deal with that. Yeah, no flinch. Brilliant. There might actually been a bit of a misplay there then. Kind of just in the moment forgot about Dark Pulse being able to flinch, so that could have been a little bad, but overall that's fine. Right, Braviary Hisui, so this can be Magikarp or Compound Eyes. I'm going to assume it's Magikarp in this. So obviously I definitely die to this hit. Now let's see what I want. I need to keep Gutter around for the Lycanroc. Is Primarina might switch in. Yeah, but calling it a switch in is funny. We are going to go Primarina. Can I actually go Hooper? No, I can't go hard Hooper. Do I need this Glisspod? Like, is he really worth saving at this point? I mean, it's pretty good, but I feel like I might just Jet for chip, honestly. Jet should be doing 38 to 45 to no bulk, and that's pretty good chip for something like Ogerpon to come in and click knock. Yeah, that means knock will kill, or even Prim. No, Prim won't kill. Decisions. Yeah, I don't think I need this anymore. We're gonna get some big chip. He is gonna Hurricane. So it might actually be not Magikarp then. Might not be Magic Guard. I think I got Ogerpon here, and then I'm going to click, I think I'm going to take the risk and click U-turn. Just for the fact that Galarian Weezing is such a free answer to him. I could go Prim. I need Prim for the Jolteon. Ogerpon I don't really need too much anymore. It's good to try and deal with that Lycanroc Dusk. But yeah, I think I'm going to take the opportunity and... Damn it, you are so pixelated. Why are you so pixelated? I remember you looking like this. Is Knock... maybe Knock is actually better. Just getting rid of that Black Sludge might be pretty good. It guarantees a kill on this. Does U-turn guarantee a kill on this? No, I'm gonna Knock. He's probably, yeah, he's gonna go in the Weezing, but I do want to get rid of that Black Sludge, and then I'm gonna go into Hooper. I think Hooper seems to be the most expendable member, just to try and take this guy down. He's gonna Pain Split. I'm gonna go ahead and click Taunt. I don't think you go hard Lycanroc or like Jolteon or hard into anything. I think you're possibly going to click the Destiny Bond to try and do a double takedown, if I had to guess. Because Spadef just drops. Is it better just to get rid of this? Yeah, he's going to Destiny Bond. We're going to Taunt. We know that. I'm just going to click Energy Ball. It covers a switch out into something like that, like a Rock Dust to be something like that. This doesn't kill me, and then I can Psychic the next turn. Or I think Shadow Wall even will just kill after this Energy Ball chip. Yeah, we're going to click the Energy Ball. He's going to Sludge Bomb. He's going to get the poison, which is a little unfortunate, but I just get revenge anyway. And I'm just going to click Shadow Wall here, as it kills everything. Yep, Shadow Wall. Down goes the Galarian Weezing. We kind of see what he wants to go out into. It is the Lycanroc Dusk. I'm just going to sack this. No reason for me to save it. I'm just going to click Shadow Wall. As he clicks Psychic Fangs. So it does reveal the Psychic Fangs for Big Girder. Big Psychic Fangs. So even if it's banded, it does nothing. I think I go Girder and I go Knockoff. Because I knock off into Braviary Hisui. Does a lot. Potential to kill, especially if I can just Mach Punch afterwards. I'm going to go into Girder. I'm going to click that Knock. Yeah. Gonna Knock. Take out Braviary Hisui. Brilliant. If you go Jolteon, I just go into my Primarina, which infinitely walls it. And then if you go Lycanroc, this is my way of dealing with him. I don't particularly see a way that I lose here, unless he gets like a Mega Crit on something. A Mega Pint. But we're looking in a good position. Still shocked at no Suicune, I guess because I do have the thing. I'm just going to go straight on to Primarina. Gonna Hyper Voice is going to do absolutely nothing. Oh, no, didn't crash. Fine. Is Psychic Noise my best? In case it's sub? If it's like a Calm Mind, we know it's Refrigerate. And then, so they do roughly the same. Moonblast does a little bit better. Like Rock Dusk. I need to Surf to be able to kill that thing, so I'm gonna Surf. He's in a difficult position. He can still definitely potentially come back. If this is like a subset, I might be in a bit of a sticky situation, as I do believe it should be faster than me. Yeah, I speed creep. Okay, so he's not max speed. We'll do that. We'll just continue clicking Surf. Oh, it's a speed tie. That's so funny. That is actually hilarious. I'm gonna try and keep diff by going Girder. Rockslide is gonna try and flinch me, which is pretty funny. I could just Mark Punch twice, which honestly I just might do. Yeah. And that's gonna seal the game. GG. We did 3 Gs. So yeah, winning week 1 with a 3-0 seems pretty cool. Thriller is a very good battler, so this is a good boost to the ego. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and we'll see you for week 2.